The ancient Chinese civilization gave birth to many cultural phenomena, one of which is refined scholars' assembly. For thousands of years, numerous literary men and refined scholars have assembled at the top of the mountain or met at the waterside to compose poetry or write articles, leaving a lot of excellent works with an everlasting name. A more important mission bestowed on the refined scholars' assembly in nowadays is to carry forward the essence of Chinese traditional culture. In China, we say theory is based on objects, so the assembly is held to rectify minds, understand reasons, please dispositions, and refine interests. Zhouzhuang, the primary water town in China, is deeply influenced by the writing style of Zhengnan. The first convergence of traditional refined scholars' assembly and modern civilization is then born in the courtyard named Yueshang in Zhouzhuang. There is a courtyard named Yueshang being located at the waterside of South Lake, Zhouzhuang. Its neighbors water with a bridge, and it's secluded by verdant and dense trees, delivering tranquility. Opening the door, you will be assaulted by the smell of nature and wild. With the scene overflowing with vigor consistency of flowing water, rich vegetables, and fresh flowers and dense trees. You can almost imagine the comfortableness and leisure living here, under the loquat. There are several tourists quietly listening to the melodious sound of the instrument lingering around the courtyard. In the tea house, you can have some tea, play chess, write with Chinese brush, and listen to the music, recollecting the pleasant flavor of ups and downs in people's life, with your mind wandering between the ancient and modern times. Wang Deji, born in Dalian, a famous designer in China, has been to many places all over China. He decided to stay in Zhouzhuang for its classic elegance. He is greatly obsessed with the traditional culture. Lyre playing, chess, calligraphy, and painting, something unfamiliar to modern people, is exactly an inseparable part in his life. Wang Deji has many successful works. What satisfies him most is still the simple courtyard. Numerous ingenuity integrates traditional culture into every corner in this building. The encountering of high mountains and winding streams produces the most wonderful symphony. Unpolished steps are steep and harsh, reminding people to see the path beneath their feet and speak and act cautiously. Daylight shines into people's life through the roof, so that the natural principle of working at sunrise and resting at sunset is well followed here. As the earliest inhabitants, flowers and trees live at their original place. Coexisting with nature. It is at this place that the harmony between the heaven and people can be achieved, which is the most advanced realm for Chinese, and that Confucianism, Buddhism and Taoism integrate with each other. When I first arrived at Zhouzhuang, I would like to collect something of folk customs, such as old stuffs, pots, tureens, etc. I wanted to use these things to decorate the house, so I went to the locals to collect some. They often leave the object idled, but when you want it, they will be at a higher price. After Mr. Zhu got to know my experience, he gave the old jar at his house for many years to me, and did not ask for any money. When I said, "You should take some money, more or less, because you cannot give things to others and receive no pay," he replied, "I am a southerner who are loyal to friends. I like you, and we can be friends." I was greatly moved, so have a look at that. The jar from Mr. Zhu is still there. Be careful. Look, it is still here, with a bird on it, though it is not intact, with fragment lost and crack on it. It is the friendship that makes it priceless. I place it at the most significant position, just inside the door, for I treasure our friendship very much. The most basic requirement for an individual in Chinese traditional culture is self-cultivation. With various and varied methods and ways, the ultimate goal is to pursue the inner peace. Whether you choose to have a tea ceremony, or play guqin, or to write and paint, or do tai chi, everyone coming to Zhouzhuang will find his or her own suitable way to pursue the inner peace. At the end of May, when summer becomes evident, the assembly was held in the courtyard, where orange loquat fruits were hanging from the branches. There were countless rich fruits on the trees, and numerous guests taking part in the assembly under the trees. In such a leisurely and comfortable afternoon, people would forget their detailed and complicated works, get away from the dirt and noises in cities, and enjoy the tranquil and wonderful time here. From ancient times, scholars in China have always associated with each other under the name of Refined Scholars Assembly. For guqin players like us, the assembly is for the communication of skills for playing guqin. The assembly is not only acting as a meeting for scholars, but also promoting the inheritance. For the assembly organized by the previous generation will be inherited by the next. Every time we hold the assembly, we will attract many people, standing aside and listening, which plays a part in popularizing and publicity. There once was a tourist from Fujian coming to ask me something about guqin, which shows that we have indeed influenced others through the assembly. Walking across the long bridge, I am deeply touched by the scene, a vast expanse of water stretching to the horizon. Coming into the courtyard, there is the landscape, a floating wine cup along winding water. When scholars assemble at the orchard pavilion, they will let the wine cup to flow. Wherever the cup goes, the people who are in front of it shall have a drink and compose a poem. The ties between the courtyard and the water represent the adaptation of the courtyard to the water culture of Jiangnan region. This kind of water culture is familiar and intimate for people who are usually immersed in culture like us. Because at the sight of water, I become more resonant with ancients writing poems, as well as Gluqin songs, such as Water and Cloud of Zhouzhuang and Song of Cloud and Water. When I play Gluqin, I will think of these images in my mind, which help me to improve my mental state and my playing skills. In my mind, the scenery in the courtyard is a four-dimensional one, with the landscape in different seasons coexisting with each other. Magnolia flowers fade here, and loquat fruits ripen there, turning orange one after another. All of these scenes change with my step in my mind. With time passing by, and with the seasons changing, new things show up with their own beauty. Accidentally, when wind comes, the little ornament on the table, or the curtain or drapery hanging in the winding corridor, will create an atmosphere, sending you a sense of beauty in life. I think it necessary for city dwellers to come here and relax after their tense work, which is actually beneficial for him to work better and to study with more energy. After the assembly, many people choose to stay for several days at Zhouzhuang, whose over a dozen of guest rooms are set off by the trees. Living beside the lake and cooking in the field, as well as the comfortable guest rooms and a quiet life, will always enable people to forget the restlessness of city life and have a deep relaxation of the tired body and mind. The most beautiful memory of this place for me is on rainy days. If you open the door, you will hear the creaking of raindrops and their padding on the banana leaves. The sound is so pleasant to listen to that it excels all the music in the world. When you open the window, you will also hear the cracking of the window, then see the wide expanse of rippling lake and feel the cool wind blowing directly into your face. This is so amazing that you can even get rid of all the tiredness, pressure, and upset by making a cup of tea and immersing yourself in the beautiful scenery. This place provides us with a piece of tranquility in our hectic life. The sky is dark and the lights are on. The characters of Du Linyang and Chunxiang in Kunchu Opera, Peony Pavilion Traveling in the Garden, The Dream Interrupted, are performed walking from far away in the courtyard. The lotus leaves sway in the breeze, and the banana leaves are dampened by the rain. What a dreamlike scene, driving me to lose my mind. Time seems never passing by. The everlasting love, which has been sung everywhere for 600 years, will continue and is reproduced at Zhouzhuang tonight. For Wang Deji, Zhouzhuang is not only a deliberately designed work, but also a home for the mind to rest. Without noticing, traditional culture has taken root and come into leaf in this courtyard. If you come to Zhouzhuang one day, why not walk close to Nanhu and spend your time in Zhouzhuang, drinking a cup of tea and listening to the music of Gluqin, as well as feeling the wind and enjoying the moon.